we're going to begin this hour with a history that's being made in New Hampshire, where today's GOP presidential primary is now underway. It is a two-candidate race. We know that now. Former President Donald Trump versus former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Now, the polls project a Trump win, but Haley could make things very interesting with a surge of support from undeclared or independent voters. Tony, as you know, is leading our coverage from the state's biggest city, Manchester. He's talking to people at McDonough Elementary School who have just finished voting. Tony, we've been watching your interviews. I love how the people of New Hampshire are speaking up. Who's with you?
Yeah, I love it as well. Good morning, Gayle. I'll introduce you in just a moment. But first, I'll tell you, when I was growing up, my mom had a little magnet on the fridge that said, everything I needed to know in life, I learned in kindergarten. Well, we're in a kindergarten school, and they've got one of those boards here. One of the lessons is, be a good listener. That's what the candidates say they were doing, listening to voters, and we're listening to voters as well. This is Jean. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Who'd you vote for and why?
I voted for Donald Trump.
And why?
I voted for Donald Trump because he's the president. He has been president his 4 years of experience. And he's really proven that he has kept us out of wars, brought gas prices down, helped secure our border, and really, I think, took care of workers by providing a lot of job opportunities, by bringing jobs back to America, bringing basically America first.
Now, Jean, you're very interesting because I was talking to your husband, Steve, who's working the election here, and he's an accountant. I'm calling you out over here, Steve. He's an accountant, and Nikki Haley is an accountant by trade.
Yeah, so I hear.
Does she not appeal to you on any level?
No, I really didn't. And really, in all fairness to Nikki, it was more about Trump and his experience and what he's already done for us. He's proven. And so I just wanted to go with a proven commodity, and that's Donald J. Trump.
All right, very good, Jean. Thank you
you
very much. You know, Gayle, we got one more pair of voters here. This is Ruth Ellen and Ken. Thank you guys again for hanging around.
Absolutely.
I know you don't want to disclose who you voted for, as is your right, but you'll talk about the issues.
Sure.
Ken, what was the top issue for you today?
I think the malaise of Washington is the top issue for me, and I desire to see some change in that, some change in the attitudes of the political parties sort of bickering to one another rather than solving problems for the people.
Very interesting. What about you, Ruth Ellen?
The border war.
The border war.
Yeah, I'm really, really concerned about those that we are letting come through that that haven't been vetted. They haven't been protected.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So were you one of the famous undeclared voters of New Hampshire, those folks in the middle? You were.
That would be me.
That would be you. You were one of the most coveted people. For $80 million was spent trying to get your attention.
Well, you'll be happy to know that none of that $80 million wound up in my pocket. So.
Here's the real question. How excited are you, now that this vote is over, to have the political ads off your TV for a little while?
Very.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'll be nice to get space in a restaurant again and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not that you're not welcome. But,
Yeah, no, I hear you. I
It
hear
does
you.
get crazy every fourth year, so.
Yeah. Are you going to be watching the returns tonight? You think there could be an
yeah.
upset? You think maybe?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it would be interesting if there were. Sure,
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Ken, Ruth Allen, thank you very much.
Thanks so
Jean,
much.
thank you again to you guys. I'll send it back to you in New York on the note that a lot of voters are decided and they're excited, but there is that majority, according to the polls that we've been doing here at CBS, of people who really don't like their options and they're curious about maybe some sort of a third option finding its way into being for the general election. We shall see.
I know it's a personal question, Tony, but did that couple say who they voted for? Now I'm very curious, hearing their thinking about what they're
No, they didn't want to
interested in.
disclose who they voted for, but based on the issues that matter to them, you know, I would make an educated guess. I'm not going to do so, but I think our more astute viewers who follow politics closely, they know what that means.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
I think we're on the same page. Tony,
Yes.
we appreciate you. Great
Thanks,
coverage.
guys.